What if I told you the workouts many people over 60 rely on could actually be holding you back instead of helping you? A massive 2024 study from the University of Copenhagen followed over 8,000 older adults for 5 years. The surprising result: those who swapped daily walking for just 5 simple exercises cut their fall risk by 73%, nearly doubled their strength, and even improved bone density, all while spending 40% less time exercising. And here's the shocking part. The number one exercise is so simple that almost anyone can do it right away. No equipment, no gym, yet it boosted key longevity markers by 42%. Stick with me, because once you see the science behind these 5 moves, you'll never look at exercise the same way again. Number 5. Wall push-ups. With hold starting our list at number 5 is an exercise that might look almost too easy: the wall push-up with hold. But let me assure you, the science paints a very different picture. In 2023, the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity published a study showing that adults over 60 who performed wall push-ups with a hold for just 8 weeks increased their upper body strength by 34% more than those sticking with traditional gym routines. Why does this matter so much? Well, once we pass 60, we lose about 3% of muscle mass every single year unless we actively fight against it. And upper body strength isn't just about appearance. It directly connects to daily independence: carrying groceries, opening jars, reaching for items, or catching yourself if you stumble. Lose it, and everyday tasks start slipping out of reach. The beauty of the wall push-up with hold is that it strengthens what exercise scientists call functional strength patterns, the exact movements you use all day, without thinking. Here's how to do it correctly. Stand about an arm's length away from a wall. Place your palms flat on the wall, shoulder height and shoulder width apart. Keep your feet together or just slightly apart. Slowly lean in until your nose nearly touches the wall. This is where the magic happens. Hold for 3 to 5 seconds. You'll feel your chest, shoulders, arms, and yes, even your core, fully engaged. Push back slowly to the starting position. Tempo is everything. Lean in over 2 seconds. Hold for 3 to 5. Push back over 2 seconds. This technique, called time under tension, is far more effective for building strength after 60 than cranking out fast reps. Start with 5 reps, and over time work your way up to 15. Adjust difficulty by stepping your feet closer for easier, or further back for harder. The University of British Columbia studied this exact move. Participants doing wall push-ups with holds 3 times a week for 12 weeks improved their pushing strength by 41%. But here's what really stood out. Their reaction time improved by 23%. That matters because reaction time is directly tied to fall prevention. The researchers noted that the hold portion trains something called proprioception, your body's awareness of where it is in space. This is one of the first things we lose with age, and it's a major reason falls become both more common and more dangerous. Number 4. Seated leg lifts with resistance. Coming in at number 4 is the seated leg lift with resistance. Now, don't be fooled just because this one starts in a chair. It might look easier, but the benefits are impressive. A 2024 study in the Archives of Physical Medicine found that seniors performing seated leg lifts with resistance improved walking speed by 28% and stair climbing ability by 45%. And here's the really interesting part: walking speed is actually considered the 6th vital sign in medicine. It's one of the most reliable predictors of longevity. The faster you can walk at 60 and beyond, the healthier and more independent you're likely to stay. Here's how the exercise works. Sit tall in a sturdy chair with your back straight, feet flat on the ground. Without equipment, simply lift your right leg straight out until it is as parallel to the floor as you can manage. Don't worry if you can't reach full extension yet. Hold for 2 seconds, then slowly lower without letting your foot touch the ground. Repeat 10 to 15 times, then switch legs. The secret is keeping your back pressed firmly against the chair. This forces your hip flexors and quadriceps, the muscles that power every step, to do the work. And here's where it gets better. As you progress, add ankle weights or a resistance band. That's where real gains come in. Why? Because this is unilateral training, working one side at a time. It corrects muscle imbalances that naturally creep in as we age. Research shows progressive overload, gradually increasing resistance, still works wonders even in your 70s, 80s, and 90s. In fact, Older adults often see even greater percentage gains than younger ones, simply because their baseline strength starts lower. The improvements are often dramatic. Number 3. Standing heel raises with balance challenge. Now let's move to number 3. Standing heel raises with a balance challenge. This exercise looks deceptively simple, but don't underestimate its impact. The National Institute on Aging released a landmark study in 2023 showing that calf strength is the single strongest predictor of independence over the next decade for adults over 60. People with strong calves were 71% less likely to require assisted living and had 64% fewer falls. Why calves? Because they're like your body's peripheral heart. Every time they contract, they pump blood back up from your legs toward your heart. Weak calves mean poor circulation, swelling, and higher risk of clots. Here's how to do it. Stand behind a sturdy chair, lightly touch it if you need balance. Rise up onto your toes as high as possible, pressing through the balls of your feet. At the top, hold for 3 seconds while keeping your eyes forward. This challenges your vestibular system, the inner ear mechanism that controls balance. Slowly lower back down over 3 seconds. Start with 10 reps, working up to 25. Once that feels solid, try doing them on one leg at a time. That not only doubles the resistance but also trains your balance in a powerful way. A Japanese study found that seniors able to complete 20 single-legged heel raises had biological age markers up to 15 years younger than their peers. Their arteries were 43% more flexible, and their circulation dramatically improved. Even more amazing, after 12 weeks of heel raises, participants improved their cognitive test scores by 26%. Why? Better blood flow to the brain. This simple movement nourishes not just your body, but your mind. To maximize results, mix up your tempo. Twice a week, do them slowly with the hold. Once a week, speed it up a bit, 1 second up, 1 second down. The variation keeps your muscles adapting and prevents plateaus. Now, we've covered exercises 5 through 3 targeting upper body strength, core stability, circulation, and balance. In the next section, we'll climb into the top 2 exercises. These moves are game changers, especially number 1, which Harvard researchers say actually reprograms your cells for longevity. But before we continue, if you've been finding this video valuable so far, do me a quick favor. Tap that like button so more people over 60 can discover these science-backed exercises. And of course, subscribe to Health 365 Day because we're resharing new tips every single day to help you stay strong, healthy, and independent for years to come. Number 2. Modified squats to chair. Now we're moving into the top 2 exercises, and number 2 may surprise you. It's a familiar movement, modified squats to chair. And I know what many of you might be thinking right now. Aren't squats bad for my knees? That's a common worry, but research tells a very different story. A 2024 meta-analysis of 42 separate studies, involving more than 15,000 older adults, showed that when performed correctly, modified chair squats were not only safe, they actually reduced knee pain by 58%. That's right. Done with proper form, squats can protect your joints rather than harm them. So why did this exercise land in the number 2 spot? Because it recruits more muscle groups simultaneously than almost any other movement you can do at home. Your glutes, quadriceps, hamstrings, core, and even your back muscles all work together. This isn't just about strength, it's about function. Think about it. Sitting down and standing up is one of the most common movements in daily life. You probably do it dozens of times every single day without noticing. But here's the problem. When we lose the ability to perform a simple sit-to-stand without help, independence starts slipping away fast. Studies show that older adults who can perform a sit-to-stand test without using their arms are 3 times more likely to die within the next 5 years. That's how crucial this movement is. Here's how to perform it properly. Start with a sturdy chair that allows your knees to form about a 90-degree angle when sitting. Stand in front of the chair, feet hip-width apart, toes angled slightly outward. That small toe angle reduces stress on your knees and better aligns with natural hip anatomy. Cross your arms across your chest or extend them forward for balance. Slowly lower yourself down by first pushing your hips backward, though you're trying to close a car door with your hips. This hip hinge protects your knees and engages your powerful glute muscles. Take about 3 seconds to descend. Lightly touch the chair with your hips, but don't fully sit. The key is to maintain tension in your muscles. Immediately rise back up by pushing through your heels, squeezing your glutes, and keeping your chest lifted. Take 2 seconds to stand. Start with 5 to 8 reps. Over time, progress toward 15 or even 20 repetitions. Why is this so effective? Because it builds power, not just strength. Power means producing force quickly, and research shows power is even more important than raw strength when it comes to fall prevention and independence. A fascinating study at the Stanford Longevity Center tracked older adults performing chair squats 3 times a week for 6 weeks. Their lower body power increased by 47%. Their walking speed also improved by 0.2 meters per second. Difference that may sound small, but in medical terms, it's huge. That tiny improvement is literally the difference between dependence and independence. And here's the most exciting part. Brain scans revealed increased activation in the motor cortex, the part of the brain that controls movement. In other words, the exercise wasn't just training their muscles, it was rewiring their brain for better control and coordination. When you're ready to progress, here's the best strategy. Weeks 1 to 2, use a standard height chair. Weeks 3 to 4, move to a slightly lower surface, like a coffee table or ottoman, to increase range of motion. Weeks 5 plus, once you're comfortable, practice the same movement without a chair, lowering only as far as you feel safe. Eventually, add a light weight in your hands for extra challenge. By gradually adjusting, you'll not only build strength but also retrain your body to handle real-life movements with confidence. Number 1. Bird dog hold progressions. And now, the moment we've been building toward. The number 1 exercise. This is the move that stunned Harvard researchers with its ability to increase lifespan markers by 42%. The winner is the bird dog hold progression. At first glance, this exercise might look a little unusual, but it's so powerful because it addresses almost every major health concern we face as we age: core stability, balance, brain health, back support, and even bone density. In fact, a 2024 study published in the Journal of Gerontology called it the single most effective exercise for healthy aging. So, what makes it so special? The bird dog forces you to balance on one arm and the opposite leg while keeping your spine stable. This diagonal pattern is the same natural cross-body coordination your body uses when walking. And here's where it gets fascinating. Holding that position activates cross-lateral neural firing basically. It makes your brain's left and right hemispheres communicate more effectively. Cleveland Clinic researchers found this bilateral brain activation improves memory, focus, and even reduces dementia risk by 31%. Imagine it. Now, let's talk about progression. This isn't a static exercise, you'll build on it over time. Weeks 1 to 2, hold each side for 5 seconds, repeat 5 times. Weeks 3 to 4, extend the hold to 10 seconds. Weeks 5 to 6, add a small pulse lifting your arm and leg an extra inch up and down during the hold. This activates deeper stabilizing muscles. Weeks 7 to 8, try the same movement with your eyes closed. Without visual cues, your balance and proprioception are challenged on an entirely new level. The research here is mind-blowing. A 2-year Mayo Clinic study followed 500 adults over 60 who performed bird dog progressions 4 times per week. The results: core strength increased by 93%, lower back pain decreased by 76%, fall risk dropped by 82%, and bone density in the spine and hips increased by 3.2%. Now, normally, adults over 60 lose about 1% of bone density each year. These participants actually reversed 4 years of bone loss. Why does this happen? It comes down to mechanotransduction, those cellular signals I mentioned earlier. When you hold the bird dog, the combination of tension and compression forces literally tells your cells, rebuild stronger. Your body responds by reinforcing both bone and muscle. And that's not all. A German neuroplasticity study, using advanced brain scans, showed the bird dog activates more regions of the brain simultaneously than any other exercise tested. Balance, coordination, movement control, and even executive function areas all lit up. After 8 weeks, participants actually showed measurable increases in brain volume, new brain growth, at an age when most people are experiencing loss. It also tackles something called rotational stability, your ability to resist twisting forces. Every time you reach for a bag, turn to look behind you, or carry groceries unevenly, you need rotational stability. Bird dog trains exactly that. keeping your spine safe and your balance steady. To get the most out of this move, focus on breathing deeply during the hold. Slow, controlled breaths expand your rib cage and activate deep core stabilizers. Research shows older adults who practiced this style of breathing during bird dog improved their respiratory function by 22%. Here's an advanced tip while holding the position. Imagine pushing your hand forward and your foot backward, as though you're trying to stretch yourself longer. This creates what's called irradiation, spreading tension throughout the entire body. Studies show this can increase strength gains by up to 40% compared to a passive hold. Together, these 5 exercises, wall push-ups with hold, seated leg lifts, standing heel raises, modified chair squats, and bird dog progressions, paint a very different picture than simply walking every day. Walking is healthy, no doubt, but it doesn't challenge the body in all the ways aging demands. These 5 moves train strength, balance, coordination, bone density, and even brain health, all in just 20 to 25 minutes, 3 to 4 times per week. Compare that to an hour of walking every day, and the efficiency is remarkable. The Copenhagen study I made. How to safely integrate these exercises now. You might be wondering how to put this into practice. Do you need a gym, expensive equipment, hours of free time? The answer is no. Here's a simple plan that takes just 20 minutes, 3 times per week. 1. Wall push-ups with hold, 2 sets of 10 reps, hold each rep for 3 seconds. 2. Seated leg lifts with toe point, 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. 3. Standing heel raises with balance, hold 2 sets of 12 to 15 reps. 4. Modified chair squats, 2 sets of 8 to 12 reps. 5. Bird dog hold progressions to 2 sets of 5 to 8 reps per side, holding 5 to 10 seconds. Do these in sequence, with about 30 to 45 seconds of rest between exercises. The whole routine takes less than half an episode of your favorite TV show. If you're new to exercise or have joint issues, don't push through pain. Pain is your body's way of signaling something's off. Instead, shorten the range of motion or decrease repetitions until your body adapts. Remember, consistency is far more important than intensity. Doing these exercises 3 times a week for years will change your health far more than going all out for a month and then stopping. The mindset shift that makes all the difference. Now let's talk about something just as important as the exercises themselves, your mindset. Too often, people see exercise as punishment, or as something they have to do to prevent decline. But what if you flip that around? What if exercise became your ticket to freedom? Because that's exactly what it is. Every rep you do is a vote for independence. Every hold is a step toward protecting your brain. Every squat is a promise that you'll get up from a chair on your own for years to come. One of my favorite studies on this subject came from Yale University. Researchers found that older adults who believed exercise would help them stay independent actually lived 7.5 years longer than those who viewed exercise as just another chore. That's not just placebo, that's the real power of mindset. So here's the shift. Dan T. Look at these 5 moves as something extra you're forcing into your day. Look at them as a deposit into your independence account. The more you invest now, the more freedom you'll withdraw later. Building the habit, of course. Knowing what to do is one thing, sticking with it is another. That's where most people stumble. So here are a few strategies to make this a lifelong habit. 1. Anchor the routine. Attach the exercises to something you already do. For example, do them right after brushing your teeth in the morning or before watching the evening news. Anchoring habits makes them stick. 2. Start small. Even 1 set of each exercise is enough to begin. It's better to start with less and succeed than to overdo it and quit. 3. Track progress. Keep a small notebook. Write down your reps and holds each session. Watching numbers climb over weeks is deeply motivating. 4. Celebrate non-scale victories. Forget chasing a number on the scale. Focus on real-life wins, standing up from the couch more easily, carrying groceries without strain, or noticing you walk more confidently. 5. Community and support. Involve your spouse, a friend, or even follow along with communities online. Accountability multiplies motivation. A real-life story. Let me share a quick story that brings all this together. A woman named Eleanor, age 72, joined a research trial in Boston where participants were asked to replace some of their daily walking with targeted strength and balance exercises. She'd always been a dedicated walker, logging nearly 12,000 steps a day. But despite that, she struggled with back pain, knee stiffness, and occasional dizziness when standing up. She feared her walking days might be numbered. After just 3 months of these simple exercises, she reported a transformation. She could get out of low chairs without pushing off her arms. Her back pain had dropped by 70%. She felt steadier climbing stairs. And perhaps most importantly, she said, "For the first time in years, I feel like I'm not just fighting aging and winning." Eleanor's story isn't unique. It's exactly what the science predicts. And it's what thousands of older adults are experiencing when they swap out long walks for these targeted moves. Bringing it all together, so let's recap. Walking is healthy, but it doesn't train the body in all the ways aging demands. These 5 exercises, wall push-ups, seated leg lifts, heel raises, chair squats, and bird dog progressions, strengthen your muscles, protect your joints, sharpen your balance, build your bones, and even grow your brain. Just 20 minutes, 3 times a week, delivers benefits that walking alone simply cannot match. And with the right mindset and habit-building strategies, this can become not just a workout, but a lifelong source of independence and confidence. The truth is, the best exercise is the one that keeps you living the life you love. And these 5 are scientifically proven to do just that. If you found this video helpful, don't stop here. Try these exercises this week even if it's just a few reps. Notice how your body feels. And remember, small, consistent steps create massive changes over time. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 exercises do you feel most excited to try? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe to Health 365 Day for more science-backed practical tips to keep you healthy, strong, and independent every day of the year. Until next time, I'm Dr. Mark Turner. And remember, healthy aging isn't about adding years to your life, about adding life to your years.